Good morning, everybody. Thanks so much for stopping by. So I promised you guys and girls, good, bad, or ugly, we were going to do a conclusion video to this MagnaCut situation. We've seen a lot of threats going around, a lot of smearing stuff online. Our practice has been called into question ahead of any real information, but some of you out there remembered that I said I was getting some lab reporting done. Folks were wondering why I was talking to the defense attorney of Crucible or Niagara over there, saying that's stupid. I knew I wasn't incorrect. So after this long journey here, we've got defamation letters, we've got alleged defect letters and things from different attorneys. I finally presented the first of our reports to Niagara over there, and the response was finally an open admission of what I already knew. These are defects that are rolled into the steel. I think these defects are happening during the melting of the MagnaCut alloy. Which due to the size of it is where I would have preferred to have a different warranty solution because some of these voids are pretty big. But so here we are at the other end. Had lots of interactions with attorneys. Our names gotten dragged through the mud over all this. Our practice has been called into question. You know, I don't know how we're making such a great knife if we don't know what we're doing. But anyway, so after all this, we got most of our samples back. If I'd have known how this was going down, I would have just kept the $900 check, but I thought we were litigating. But I got 2 unmolested samples back that if I ever need those, cool, I guess. And then I have several samples that have all the information cut out of them. So they're cool modern art pieces, but they're not really useful anymore. So yeah, I guess that's it. I am gonna keep this information off the internet at least until I get a third confirmation of exactly what the composition of this is. The results are consistent from the different lab reports that I've gotten so far, but some of the information is open to interpretation. So I'm waiting for information to come back from a very large lab in Europe who can interpret this data accurately. Sorry, it's early. So just know we didn't do this. It's official. We're here from the horse's mouth, right from the mill, that we didn't do this. So it's not our blasting process. It's not our machining. It's not our heat treat. It's nothing special about our grinding. We just do a good job here, and I got sick of stuff like this. So people not following along, I will recap real quick. Back in 2022, I was having cleanup issues with some new MagnaCut sheets. We weren't quite through the surface scale, the decarb layer, so I wasn't achieving cleanup. I had some gross delamination. After some conversating, they'd sent 2 sheets to replace some of that defective material to see how that went, and then that wasn't going so well, so they'd sent 2 more sheets trying out Blanchard ground, so they already got all the scale off of it. My issue there is while they thought they were doing a warranty solve for me, those are the sheets that I had an unreasonably high amount of these voids in. I've been averaging like 20% of these voids. And while I have chosen to sell some as seconds to maintain a viable business, it still hurt us. So I guess at the other end of this, I still don't have anything in writing about what a warranty would look like for these materials. So I'm gonna have to start assuming on the high end of what the loss rate could be, because I ideally don't wanna let these types of things out of here for any reason. It's okay in a higher up area in a thicker knife like this, but as you get into small knives, defects this large, I can see where that the Bark River knife and the Dutch Bushcraft knives failed. If it's consistent with these types of defect, it was gonna explode. Jimping, no jimping. These voids are sometimes 1 inch long, 1/2 inch wide. They're not very deep, but they take up a lot of real estate in a part. So the thinner, smaller you get, the more efficient you get. You want to take advantage of these properties, the more exploding these could potentially get if you have things like that hide in here. So if this is up to a visual confirmation on my end, I need to assume up to a 20% loss rate. So we're going to be looking at what our pricing needs to look like to continue to offer MagnaCut that way. I think working through resellers is going to work a lot better for us. We've been doing some OEM cutting here, and the resellers of these materials seem a lot more responsive to customers' needs. Where the mill, we went through a whole defamation thing, all kinds of shit, to finally, I don't know what, I learned something, I guess. So yeah, I guess that's the end of this. I don't see any need to follow this up unless we get a confirmed conclusion on the exact composition, but I can tell you just based on the reports, everybody agrees we didn't do this. There's no way we could have done this. I can't put encapsulated pockets of defect in virgin materials, but there just is some interpretation as to exactly what this is. So I guess from here I'm gonna make a Peters heat treating video, but you're gonna learn in that video why I don't like NDAs or signing NDAs. I'm learning there's a lot of things I can't talk about the decarburizing that apparently I signed a photo and video NDA up there. So unless I can prove I talked about it somewhere else or that I conversed about it outside of this video, I don't think I can talk about a lot of the liability and the things going on up there either. So I guess in closing, I saw online some folks saying that, you know, we got fired by Peters over this, we got fired by the mill. I don't care. I don't want to work with people like that. If I have to keep lawyers on retainer and wonder what kind of angles people are playing, those aren't people I want to work with. I've had enough issues and loss and damage and stuff in the past that if this is the relationship I'm going to have coming back here to driving distance, these aren't folks I want to work with. These aren't companies I want to work with or support. We've found a better heat treater with newer, more advanced equipment, and I can always get these materials through a litany of sellers. I can buy some of these materials directly from Europe. The CPM stuff, there's so many resellers of this. I'd rather pay a higher margin and have better customer service on this. So, you know, I hope in the face of how all this unraveled and all the crap I had to go through here to show you guys this wasn't my fault, where when confronted with real information, they knew the whole time, I believe, of what was happening, and they were counting on either buying me out or silencing me through threats, and I'm not having it. So with this said, I hope this is done now. I really just want to make knives, so I'm going to grind this last table of TSKs here after I make a Peters heat treating video, and then I'm going to do a quick walk around, do a quick production update for you guys and girls before the team gets in here. But anyway, I hope you found this informative and interesting, but yeah, I'm gonna find out here, I guess next, what size and quantity triggers a defect in this material. So I guess from here, we're gonna just find out more and more what are defects, what aren't defects by the mill and these manufacturers, and find out what standards we can and can't hold these different companies and industries to. So that's the next thing to figure out. But right now, I'm just going to assume a higher level of loss so that we can maintain our high quality and not be a factory seconds company with some of these materials. But please know production's going really well. Most of this is behind us now, and I'm really excited about the future here. So anyway, you guys have a great morning, and we'll talk to you again soon.